So let's get into it. Yeah. So you're all welcome. This session will turn out to be one of the most interesting sessions you've ever had. And we'll be talking about how you can break into cybersecurity, how you can transition into cybersecurity, even if you don't have a tech background. If you don't have a computer science degree, we'll show you how. Not having a computer science degree or not having a master's does not hinder you from breaking into cybersecurity. It doesn't. So learn how tonight and learn how we get this done. So without wasting much time, I'm about to lay the blueprint for the session tonight. Okay, I think we're good to go. We are being streamed now on Facebook, and it's time to go. So if you are with me tonight, can I just see your hands? Can you raise your hands and give me some energy? I need your energy tonight. So let's get into it. We're live. Now we're talking about how to break into cybersecurity without a tech background. So, and here's the plan for tonight. Number one, who am I? Who am I? So, or who is Omi Yomi, founder of Digital Consulting? This is very important. So, because I'm your presenter tonight. Number two, what is Digital Consulting all about? Who are we? So let's find out about us tonight. Number three, why cybersecurity? Why should I break into cybersecurity? So because in tech, there are a lot of fields in tech. So why cybersecurity in particular? Why cybersecurity? Why should I break into cybersecurity? Number four, what exactly is cybersecurity? What exactly is cybersecurity? What does it entail? What does it entail? Number five, how to break into cybersecurity. The steps, the necessary steps. Take. Number six, the digital way. The number seven, question and answer. And I'll be having Abid tonight with us. Abid is a technical recruiter. He's one of our career coaches at Digital Consulting. So he'll be joining me by 7:30. We'll just ask a few questions, then we'll continue from there. So Abid will also be around, and we'll talk more when he's here. So now let's start. I'm the founder of Digital Consulting, and I think I should just say one or two things about myself because you'll be with me for the next 90 minutes. So it might be in order to know a little about me and what I stand for and what I represent. Then we'll talk about Digital Consulting itself. So let's find out about me. Who am I? Right. So let's start. Now, I also transition to tech. Like I tell people, I also transition to tech, and that is why I can comfortably talk to you about how you can also transition to tech. So I used to work at a multinational Big Four tax and auditing firm, and I was there for 5 years as a tax accountant, doing tax transfer pricing, audit work. And in 2018, I got a job with the largest indigenously owned Nigerian oil exploration and production company. And I was there for 30 months. Then after 30 months, I resigned. I resigned after 30 months and I resigned into tech fully. So that is my journey. That is how my um, and yeah. So this is me right here. 5 years, I've helped thousands of Africans and non-Africans to transition to a career in tech without a tech background, and some of them with a tech background. So I'm married. I love to travel. This is a little about me. This was at the start of the church. Okay, so that's little about me. Then I think the pictures will do more of the talking. Yeah, the pictures will do that. So just quickly get over this. So this is me here. Right here. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right. Yeah, I'm a fun person. So I also do some trainings for real estate developers. As you can see, then this is a training for tech enthusiasts, training them on the opportunities in tech, training them on the opportunities in tech. Yeah. So I think that's about myself. I manage digital consulting and I've been doing that for the past 5 years. Right. So let's move on to, if you want to know more about me, I think let's check out the Instagram page. So I have an Instagram page that you can refer to, and there you get to know more about me on Instagram. So, right. So, right here, Instagram, you get to know. So I'm on Instagram as Omiyale Yomi on Instagram, and you can get more information about me there, right? So while we're waiting for that, okay, I think so just search Omiyale Yomi, the verified page. That is my page, the verified page, this one. And you find more about myself as an individual, right? So that is that for that. Now let's talk about digital consulting. So we are done with myself. I'm a tech professional. I'm a real estate developer and I'm a pastor. So that settles it for me. And I transitioned to tech just like some of you are trying to. So now to the next point here is, what is digital consulting all about? So digital consulting is a tech training institute. We started 2019. Then from 2019 to date, we have helped thousands of Africans and non-Africans to transition to tech without a tech background. Some of them have a tech background, but 75% or more of our students don't have a tech background. And we have seen lawyers, we have seen doctors, we have seen people that studied biology, education, who are now doing wonderful things in cybersecurity and other tech. So that is what we have been doing all this while, and that is why we are here. So let's look at digital consulting. So go to Google, and when you get to Google, the first thing is to check out our reviews, right? That is very important. Check out our reviews, digital consulting review, because that if you need to do anything with an institute, it's always good to find out the experience of people who have do. So you can check out our reviews here. That's the first to go. What students have to say about us. What students have to say about us is very, very important. So what are the students who have been in digital, what do they have to say about digital? So it's very, very important about us. So while that is loading, so okay, as you can see, we're right here, and let's just check out some of these reviews before we move on. Uh, just I let this have been all and through the reviews. Their LinkedIn file and because at times I shout, oh, digital, I've listened to your webinar. Yeah. Okay, so the way to go about it is to check us out on LinkedIn. Um, check us out on LinkedIn, and yeah, that's how to find out about an institute and what they have really been up to. So Let's go to LinkedIn. Let's go to LinkedIn. So we're right here on LinkedIn. Then you take your time, you search digital consulting on LinkedIn. Search digital consulting on LinkedIn. Then when you do that, you click on post. Digital consulting LinkedIn, you click on post. And once you click on post, you will see the activities of our students and you see what they are really up to. Then you click on see all post results. And these are for those who actually tag digital consulting. So you can see more about what our students are up to and what some of them have to say, what they are doing with digital. So these two ways are the very important ways of checking out an institute and seeing what an institute has really been up to. The third way is to look at mentions. So what do people have to say about them? So these are our websites here. This is our website, but before we go, let's just search digital consulting. So digital consulting, our headquarters is in Lagos, but we have programs and tutors round about the world in Europe and in North America and in Africa. So today, for students in the Europe region and the Middle East region. Right, so just do digital consulting. You can see we've been mentioned in Guardian, Nigeria. We've been mentioned by Independent Newspaper Nigeria. You can also find, we're still going to our Instagram page. We've had mention Nairaland, Business Day, right? And some other Vanguard newspaper and some other sites like that. So let's just check out our Instagram page. And you could also find out more about us from there. Okay, so here's our Instagram page. You can take your time to get a little more information about us and what we have been up to on Instagram, digital consulting, right? So that's that on digital consulting, right? So you check our website, you check our Instagram page, you check our reviews, and you check our LinkedIn, the post by our students on LinkedIn, and you have an idea of what we have been up to. So let's get into the meat of it. In 10 minutes, Abid will come here and I will ask him some questions before I continue with the session. But let's start. Let's start right away. Right away. If you are with me, can I see your hands? If you are right with me, can I see your hands? If you are following me, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands if you are following me. Are you all following me? Okay, I think you all are following me, really. I think you all are following me. So let's get into it tonight. Okay, people are following me. That's good. That's encouraging. So now, transition to tech and get remote jobs as a cybersecurity professional. And we want to start with why cybersecurity, why tech? So IT opportunities are abundant, but the laborers are few. That's the fact. There are a lot of IT opportunities out there, especially in Europe and Middle East. For those who are watching from the Middle East, there are IT opportunities. And the interesting thing about IT jobs is you don't have to be located primarily in that region in order to access some of these jobs. So the fact that you are not in the UK doesn't mean you can't get jobs in tech in the UK. Or the fact that you are not in Dubai doesn't mean you can't work for organizations in Dubai. The easiest way to work in tech is via remote jobs. So you don't have to be physically resident in a country before you work in that country. And I will show you all that. So just stay with me. Just stay with me. So tech has potential for remote jobs, flexible job schedules, freelancing, and a shortcut into making 6 digits income or more. It doesn't have to be limited to 6 digits. So there's potential for remote jobs. We have flexible job schedules, freelancing. Now, the interesting thing about tech is there is no need for an IT background. And I'm going to say this 2 times again. You don't need an IT background. You don't need an IT background. You don't need to be a programmer. You don't need to have a master's in cybersecurity or a master's in computer science, right, before you work in tech. As a matter of fact, let me drop this bombshell here. And this is no offense. So because of what I do and because our organization trains thousands of students, many of our students are individuals who have gone to the UK or to Europe to study for masters in cybersecurity, masters in computer science. But the shocking reality is that what you've been taught in your master's program is not in line with the best practice in the tech marketplace. So what you are being taught is actually an outdated curriculum, because the job market is rapidly evolving. So this year in Digital, we changed our curriculum because we saw that new job postings was placing an emphasis on certain methodologies, certain skill sets, and certain tools. That we saw that, okay, the jobs being posted towards the end of last year and the jobs being posted at the beginning of this year required certain methodologies, certain tools, certain skill sets. So we had to change our curriculum for last year. We had to update it for this year to include those skill sets and those tools. But when it comes to your master's degree program, it's not that fast. You don't just wake up one day and change the curriculum. So no offense to those who are studying masters in computer science, but if you take your time and you study what the British government is doing at the moment, the British government, in order to fill up the cybersecurity skill gap, has even set up its own training institute to train cybersecurity professionals, because they realize that even though there are maybe hundreds of cybersecurity programs in UK universities, the skill sets these graduates have cannot compete with what is required nationally. So that is why they had to set up their own tech training institute. And no offense to university program, no offense to the master's degree program, but it is what it is, right? And you can do your research on this to prove me wrong on this matter. So you don't need an IT background. There are many cybersecurity jobs, which I will show you tonight, that don't even require a university degree. Some of them don't even require a university degree. Now, more than 26% of IT workers don't hold a degree. Almost 49% of IT job postings in 2017 did not list a degree as a minimum requirement for candidates. Now, no age constraints. You can start at any time. So I will show you this lady. Her name is Bookie Wright. For people who are in Africa, some of you know her. She used to be a Nollywood actress, but not anymore. She's now a senior IT auditor. She's now a senior IT auditor in the US. So see that now. So let's check out how Bookie Wright transitioned to tech. So former Nollywood actress Bookie Wright transitioned into a tech career at age 44. And I'm saying this to some of you who are watching me who say, oh, you know, I really want to do this. I just want to do this, but I don't think age is on my side. So yeah, in the field of tech, there is no racism in tech. There is no age constraint in tech. There is no requirement for a bogus university degree in tech. In tech, what recruiters are particular about is your skill. Can you get the job done? Can you do this and do this and do this? Yes, that's fine. They don't care whether you're a man or a woman, or whether you are young or old. They don't care whether you're an African or a non-African. Can you do the job? Do you have the right skill sets to get the job done? If yes, let's have it. So she transitioned to tech at the age of 44. Now she's a senior IT auditor in the US. So I said this to many people who just have this feeling, you know, I'm in my late 30s, I'm in my 40s, you know, can this thing work for me? No. That is not a restriction. That is not a barrier. So if you're in a career and you can't see any progression for you, there are always opportunities in tech. Always. Always. So let's go back to my slide. Now, so I've sorted that out, no age constraints. So remote jobs, fact or fiction? Now we're going to check now. LinkedIn is your friend. We'll check LinkedIn out. Remote job websites. So you can work in the field of tech, either full-time or you can work as contract. You can do a contract job, you can do a freelancing job, or you can work full-time, 9 to 5. Now, there are high in-demand skills. Cybersecurity is one of them. Cybersecurity is one of them. You need an optimized CV and profile. There's the interview process. There's a project portfolio. We'll come to that. Now, let's check out the jobs. So here, we're going to LinkedIn now to check out the jobs. Now, we'll check out the jobs in the last 24 hours. Check out the jobs in the last 24 hours. So LinkedIn here will come. LinkedIn here will come. So here's how to do it. I know some of you already know this, but let's still do it all the same. So the interesting thing about cybersecurity jobs is that the jobs keep coming. And if you have the right skill set, you will always get the job. What you just need is that skill set, because every day recruiters, companies keep posting jobs. So I'm searching for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. So check out cybersecurity, then we'll look into, okay. So Abid is with us right now, but once I'm done with this, then I'll bring him on. So go to cybersecurity jobs. Okay, so now I'll do United Kingdom. United Kingdom, search. Right. Cybersecurity jobs, United Kingdom. It's coming on. Okay, so we have like 11,000 jobs here. But I will just do, I'll do the last, I'll start with the last 1 week, then I'll move to the last 24 hours. So past week, so as to reduce the numbers. In the last 1 week, reduce the numbers from 11,000. So you can see the jobs are here. Okay, so let me just try to refresh this. Try to refresh this. Okay, so one of the things I would say while the page is loading is that some of these jobs here, you see them asking for some years of experience, and that is not a limitation, right? That isn't a limitation at all, right? So we see, let's check this out, cybersecurity, Nigel Frank. This organization actually recruits a lot, and it's a remote position. right? This is a remote position. Check out this about the job. Okay, so a lot of applicants are ready, but that doesn't stop you from applying. So let's check this out. SOC analyst, skills required. Yeah, so you can see here, these are the skills required. These are roles and responsibilities. There's nothing about computer science degree here. There's nothing about 7 years of experience here. Even when these jobs ask for years of experience, there are ways around it, right? There are ways around it. So let's check this out too. This is another one. This is another one, fully remote. This is even an internship. Right, this is an internship. So they are saying for the first 3 months is unpaid, then permanent paid employment after the internship, which isn't bad, right? ID candidates, this and this, or a related field, aspiring cyber, your role. So this is an internship role, right? So let's get here. This has to be on site because it's an ethical hacking. Another one, apprentice cybersecurity. So this is just this week, over 3,000 jobs this week. Over 3,000 jobs this week, right? So, and while you learn, apprenticeships are available. And there's something about the UK right now that the UK government, for those of you who are very conversant, they are encouraging this apprenticeship program. As a matter of fact, the regulation is that all top organizations should have this apprenticeships framework in order to train young talent, right? And I just hope that this new government will continue with that program. So the roles are there. We have information security analyst, night shift. This is this week. So I could go on and on. So let's look at this before I bring Abid in. So what do they want about this role? Monday to Friday, this is all you do, requirements, practical experience. These, our interviews, benefits, this. There's nothing on university degree there, nothing on, right? So let me bring Abid in, then I will continue once I'm done with him on the so Abid is here with us. Bring Abid in again. So Abid should be joining us. Okay. Okay, we have Abid here finally. Finally, he's there with us. So Abid, can you hear me?
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I hope everyone is fine. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Doing good. How are you doing too?
Fabulous. I'm very well, thank you
Okay.
for asking. But yeah, the joys of technology. But from what I heard in the last 5 minutes, it's quite an informative session in terms of how to get into cybersecurity. So yeah, it looks like a really great session that you're doing today.
Yeah. Okay, so Abid, we just have a few minutes with you just to speak from the technical recruiter perspective. So while I'm here to talk from the technical angle of what cybersecurity is, we just want you to give the students an idea of what happens on the other side of the table. So, but before we go into that, I just want you to introduce yourself to our listeners. Who is Abid Sadiq, and what years of experience have you had? What have you done in the technical recruiting space, so they can get to meet with you? Then we can subsequently move into the areas around career coaching and technical recruiting. So over to you, Abid.
Of
Yeah.
course. Hello there again, everybody, and thank you for the introduction. So I'm Abid, and I've been in recruitment now for about a decade, I would say. But the last 5 years of my career has focused specifically within internal recruitment. So I've been part of the talent acquisition team for companies like Uber, companies like Teradata, Microsoft, and LinkedIn as well, which I see you were showing your students a demo of how to find the best jobs on earlier. So I've led teams. I've worked across the whole of the Middle East and Africa region. I've successfully relocated people from literally one corner of the world to the other
Mm,
corner of the world. From
mm,
Australia as far as South Africa, from Dubai to Ireland, from
mm,
from South Africa to the US of A. So led teams there. I've recruited all across Europe as well as the Middle East and African
mm,
regions. So I'm going to talk to you, hopefully, today a little bit about cybersecurity, how to
mm,
get into cybersecurity, and hopefully answer any questions that
mm.
you may have.
Okay. Okay. So Abid, my first question tonight is, when an organization needs to recruit for a role, let's say a cybersecurity role, what is the process the organization follows, and how does the recruiter take it from there to get the right candidate for the job? So
Mhm.
just give us an idea of what happens behind the scenes. All we just see is there's an advert. So what happens
Mhm.
from before the advert to getting the right candidate for the job? Yeah,
Right.
just like this adverts I showed the listeners.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So not just for cybersecurity, but for any role across any well-respected organization that has a great talent acquisition process in place. I think the sort of the process is pretty much the same. So if there is a need for headcount, as we would say internally, we would
Mm,
normally get a ping from the hiring manager themselves or the hiring manager's manager. So that sort of the need to hire for that job can come to us in many different forms. It could be from a talent acquisition manager or even finance or vice versa. So what we would do in that case, because we as talent acquisition, we are going to be the first people that a candidate will, 99.9% of the time interact with. So we are the face of that organization. So the
mm,
pressure is on for us really to
mm,
know as much about the role as possible, know
mm,
as much about the company as possible, and also know as much about the benefits. And if a candidate is going to be relocating, know as much about the relocation process as possible.
mm,
So if
mm,
there are any of you out there that thought a recruiter's job is dead easy, believe you me, it is totally the opposite because we need to have all the answers when we are speaking
mm,
with a candidate. Because remember, when we pick up the phone, and I'll come on to that in a second, but when we pick up the phone and we call a candidate, we could have literally any type of question thrown at us. So, of
mm,
course, remember what I said earlier about being the face of the business. Now,
mm,
if a candidate asks us 8 questions and out of the 8, we only have answers to 4, that's not a good look from the business point of view. And
mm,
more importantly, the candidate might lose faith in the company as well, thinking that, you know what, the recruiter actually doesn't know his or her stuff. So we need to do that. But what happens behind the scenes, just to quickly sort of go over that. So once we get notification of the role, we will 100% of the time liaise with directly the hiring manager. Ask the hiring manager about his or her needs, and also other questions that we need to know, like, for example, how many people there are in the team already. And most importantly, I think we touched upon this in one my previous session. Most importantly, one of the really important questions for large organizations, especially, is around diversity, and sort of how diverse the team is already. So say, for example, if there are 6 members in that team already, and maybe 5 of them are male, it's not a very diverse team. And why do we have to think about that? Because statistics have proven time and time and time again from various different sources that diverse teams outperform non-diverse teams by more than 60%. So we have to think of the longevity of the business as well. So if there's 5 males already out of 6, and I bring in another male, chances are that team is not going to be very diverse as well. Now, that's not to say that okay, they've got 5 males already, and we definitely are going to be looking for a female. No, a male still could get that role. Again, it depends on experience and what that person can bring to the table. But in all sort of organizations that are credible, diversity would be one of the top things that we would look at, basically. We then behind the scenes, we would then perhaps go into a lot more detail with the hiring manager about the role. And then if need be, we would even pick, arrange a call, arrange a meeting, and speak with somebody who's already doing that role. Just so that we get a better idea of how that role works. Another thing that we might do is speak with another recruiter, maybe who's hired for that role previously, if we haven't, just to find out what they thought about the market and what the market conditions are. And then we would go through what the hiring process would look like as well. So, for example, will there be 1 round of interviews, which is in this day and age is highly unlikely? Would there be 2, 3? I would say 3 is probably maximum. The hiring manager should be aiming for no more than 3. Now, as part of the talent acquisition team, if the hiring manager says, no, we want 4 or 5 rounds of interview, remember, we're in partnership with them and we know all about the recruitment process. So what we would be doing there is looking at educating the hiring manager and to... Have I lost you? Okay, I think we've lost the host and we will just wait for a few moments. Okay, there we go. Are we back?
Okay, so yeah, we're back. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. So my next question is that when you get the CVs of the students and their LinkedIn profile, what do you actually look for in the CVs and the LinkedIn profile of the students?
Absolutely.
So a job post has been made out and individuals have applied for the jobs. So they've submitted their CVs, you have their LinkedIn profiles. What do you look out for as a recruiter?
Okay. Another great question there in terms of what do we look for. So a lot of the, well, on a few occasions that I've worked, well, on a lot of occasions actually that I've worked and recruited for Middle East and Africa, um, I'm sort of looking to fill a role. One of the biggest sort of requirements for a role a lot of the time is language. That's why we're looking to recruit from across Middle East and Africa. So the first thing that I would look at from in terms of CVs, if that is an absolute must, remember someone you might be thinking, well, why is language a priority? And if you think back to when we spoke last time about hiring diverse teams, and if you think back last time when we were speaking about maybe a developer wants to build a health app for Nigeria. So we might be looking for someone who is fluent in a local language to get that particular role. So one of the first things that we would definitely look at, and if that is an absolute requirement of the role, is if that candidate has got the required language skills that are needed for the role. We would also look at location, for example, and one of the main things that we will look at is the quality of your CV naturally. So if you've got spelling or grammatical errors in the first paragraph or so, chances are we would just skip on to the next CV. Why do you think we would do that? It's quite simple. A candidate like that will most likely be using a scattergun approach. They're most likely, are not even really bothered. We can see that they've not invested in their time in the company, and they've certainly not invested in anything to do with their own sort of personal currency, if you like. So spelling, grammatical errors are things that we would definitely look at there as well. And another one, which might, to a lot of people, seem as though, well, this is quite common sense, but email addresses must, or in a lot of cases, be professional. So my name is Abid Sadiq. If I have something, if my email address is the first thing that the consultant sees, the recruiter sees, and it's something like, sexyboynextdoor@hotmail.com, what do you think is going to happen there? What impression is that recruiter going to have of me? By all means, have a Hotmail, Gmail. There's so many different domains out there. By all means, have an email address like Gmail or Hotmail. If you can't necessarily get your name, so if I can't get Abid Sadiq, add some numbers at the end. Sometimes chances are, if you have a very, very common name, those email addresses go quickly. But please, please, please make sure that you do have a professional email address. Something along the lines of your first name or your surname, or maybe it's the other way around, your surname and your first name. You will be surprised at the number of email addresses that I have seen that are not very professional. And straight away, it's not going to give me a great impression of the person applying. Now, I know you've been talking about cybersecurity, and I want to link cybersecurity into this question in regards to what talent acquisition will look for in CVs. And the thing that I'm going to say is experience. So it might take me a couple of minutes to sort of explain this, but I do think that it will be really beneficial for all the listeners out there in terms of experience and in a cybersecurity situation, how we would quantify and how we would look for experience if you are just joining cybersecurity. So you've decided to get into cybersecurity career, you're missing out the essential element of experience. So how are we gonna get that experience? Okay. Most cybersecurity jobs, even entry-level ones, they, sometimes do mention years of experience in the security field.
mm,
But
mm,
it's like a chicken and egg situation, really, isn't it?
mm.
How are you
Yeah,
supposed to get that experience for the
experience
job?
when you have to get experience to get a job. Yeah,
Exactly. So it's the
yeah.
classic chicken and egg problem. But luckily, in the next few moments, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to solve this potential problem about getting
Mm,
experience. Okay. So,
mm,
particularly within cybersecurity, many people might think that experience only means on-site job experience, but there's plenty of
mm,
ways actually to get valuable
mm,
experience, all of which will
mm,
look great on a CV. And I'm going to go through them now. So the first way to go and get experience is the DIY route. So for those of you who are not familiar with that acronym, it is do it yourself, basically. How are we
mm,
going to get experience on your own? Um, the
mm,
approach really, to be honest, particularly within cyber security, is limited by your
mm,
imagination. But let me give you some suggestions. So
mm,
one suggestion is you could actually build a lab network at home and figure out
mm,
how to secure it, basically.
mm,
This will,
mm,
we understand it will require investment in equipment and software,
mm,
but much of what you will need can be found through inexpensive sources like eBay, or if you go on
mm,
these sort of sites. But the other
mm,
way you can get experience in cybersecurity is go to a website called hackthebox.com,
mm,
if anybody has heard of that,
mm,
and
mm,
practice finding system and application vulnerabilities. You can take
mm,
online security courses if they provide a
mm,
certificate of completion at the end, and make sure you put
mm,
that on your CV. Print the
mm,
certificate out, keep it for your records, basically,
mm,
and
mm,
make sure that you retain everything, however insignificant you might think it
mm,
will be at the time. Second way to
mm,
get experience is as an intern, and I know you were looking at intern jobs or just jobs in general earlier. So the demand for cybersecurity help is so high that many organizations actually
mm,
would love to have interns helping them out. Now, you might be
mm,
thinking, well,
mm,
I've been trying so hard. I can't get any
mm,
intern positions, and I can't see any organizations that will want me to help them out for their
mm,
cybersecurity. But let me
mm,
give you an idea. So
mm,
basically, internships, usually short-term, low paid, they will offer you great
mm,
value experience, and you can
mm,
find
mm,
internships through search engine queries, job listing sites, as we were looking at earlier on LinkedIn and Indeed.com. Third way
mm,
to get experience also is by volunteering your time and skills.
mm,
Now, if you think cybersecurity volunteer, where can I volunteer?
mm,
Now, this is
mm,
the sort of $1 million answer to your question. Where do I volunteer? Now, many charitable or non-profit organizations have computer
mm,
networks and websites, but can't
mm,
afford to hire security professionals to help keep them secure.
mm,
So if you think about
mm,
maybe, I don't know, your local church group, your local
mhm,
choir group, say, for example,
mm,
okay, this is where you can step in to help the
mm,
organization, where whilst at the
mm,
same time you're giving yourself
mm,
real world experience, perfect to
mm,
put on your CV. So
mm,
churches, animal shelters, for example,
mm,
community shelters,
mm,
or community centers
mm,
rather, which could use your
mm,
help in securing their computer networks and websites. Contact the organization that appeals
mm,
to you the most. Chances are
mm,
that they'll be more than happy to have you help them out as an intern or as a non-paid. Because remember, at the end of the day, you
mm,
want your experience. And if,
mm,
an English saying, if the glove fits, then absolutely. If it's something that you're passionate about
mm,
anyway,
mm,
you can easily get your
mm,
experience from there.
mm, yeah,
basically. And then
yeah,
finally, the final thing that I'm going to say
mm,
about getting experience is to
mm,
um, in the job that you're all, if you already have a job, basically, and
yeah,
if you're already in IT and you're looking to get into cybersecurity, then it's just a matter of identifying
mm,
parts of your job that relate to security. So, for example, if you're an IT help desk technician already, for example, perhaps you've
mm,
added and removed users, changed user privileges, or
mm,
worked with
mm,
anti-malware or other security systems, all of these count as
mm,
security experience, even if
mm,
security isn't actually in your job title.
mm,
So I hope that's helped
mm.
in terms of giving you
Yeah,
an idea of
yeah,
where you
yeah,
can get that cybersecurity
exactly.
experience.
Then let me add one more to it. So another way of getting experience, in addition to the things you've said, is through a boot camp, because in a boot camp, you build a portfolio of projects. And the thing about a boot camp is that it's a structured learning environment. There's structure to it. So you are disciplined, you are constrained to actually build projects that you can show at the interview. So that's also one way of getting experience, right? So Abid, the third question tonight is, so we've spoken about the process whereby companies recruit. We've spoken about what recruiters look out for in CVs. Then you've also spoken to our listeners that they shouldn't be scared about all these years of experience stuff. There are 5 ways or more of complementing for this experience thing. So the third question I want to ask is, so the candidate has gotten to the interview, you've gone through the CV, and it's right here in the interview, and being interviewed by you and your team. What really happens at the interviews, and how are successful candidates chosen?
Okay.
Because we have people actually make it through to the interview. So what is the game changer? What decides whether this candidate will get this cybersec job or he won't get this cybersec job? And you've been at LinkedIn, you've been at Uber, Teradata, Microsoft. So you've had a lot of years in this industry. So over to you, Abid. Yeah.
Okay, so what would happen is I would perhaps once the job opening has closed, or even as the job is still open, I would go through quite a large pile of CVs, I would say, on a daily or or twice a day, twice a week basis, and I
Mm,
would
mm,
put to one side CVs that I think that are of great interest. Remember, as we spoke earlier, bearing in mind in terms of inclusivity, in terms of diversity, if they've got the language, where they are in the world, whether they've got the right skill set, and whether they've got the experience as well. So a lot of the time, oh, I would say almost all of the time, the first point of contact for anybody who's applied for a job would be with the recruiter. So that would be my job to reach out to the candidate. Sometimes I will reach out to them just sporadically. On the spur of the moment, if they can talk there and then, that's absolutely fine. If they can't, that in no way, shape, form, or means that this candidate is rubbish and I'm not going to try, because chances are sometimes, quite simply, they
mm,
could be at work, they could be in a meeting. So it doesn't
mm,
mean that that candidate is pushed all the way to the bottom of the list. I need to make that crystal clear. So if you ever do, for all of the listeners, get a call from a recruiter, or you miss a call, or you can't talk, please do not for a second think that you're going to be pushed all the way to the bottom of the pile. You will get an opportunity. I
mm,
promise you, to speak with the recruiter again at a mutually convenient time. So I want to sort of,
mm,
get rid of that myth there and then. So I
mm,
will speak with that recruiter. and I will ask them questions in relation to their experience, in relation to why they've
mm,
decided to apply for a specific company. So please, when you have
mm,
applied for a company, make sure you know at the back of your mind why you're applying to Microsoft or why you're applying to Uber. What is it that you have, that you think you have, would be beneficial to that company? So I'll ask you a series of questions as to
mm,
why, ask you a little bit about your compensation, about your notice period, if you have one as well. And throughout that call,
mm,
I will definitely, or the recruiter will definitely be making notes, and also just
mm,
consciously, subconsciously, sort of thinking about the way you're speaking with us, with the recruiter, as in, do you sound enthusiastic? Do you sound dull and flat? And if, if we're asking you a question like, why have you decided to apply for this role at Microsoft? If you're just giving us one word answers right from the offset,
mm,
chances are you're not really a great fit for the job, because you're not, it just seems as though
mm,
you're not bothered. Whereas we have 15 other candidates who are really high with their enthusiasm levels. So try to be enthusiastic when you're speaking with the recruiter, because the recruiter will pick up on that consciously or unconsciously,
mm, mm.
basically.
Enthusiasm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm. Mm,
Absolutely. So try and be enthusiastic as well. And if you do
mm,
get a chance, and I know not all recruiters offer this to you, but if you do get a chance to ask the recruiter questions, please, please do ask. Again, that's asking questions. That's where your curiosity is coming in. And to me, what does that tell me? Actually, you know what? This person's quite interested because he's probing
mm,
me. He's asking me difficult
mm,
questions. So,
mm,
what kind of questions can
mm,
you ask? You can perhaps ask them. I mean, at the end of the day, you've applied for a job on the basis of looking at a job description online. So, ask the recruiter. So, I've seen your job advert. Hey, recruiter, I've seen your job advert online. And I'd love to know a little bit more about the culture of your organization, because you're somebody who works there. What can you tell me about your culture? What can you tell me about, if you're interested in, diversity, if you're interested in sports, or if you're interested in sort of the team? Can you tell me a little bit about the team that I will be interviewing for? What's the hiring manager like? How many people are in the team? This is your chance to shine. And because it's your chance to shine, it tells the recruiter that you are really, really interested, and you're not just thinking about
curiosity.
short term.
Mhm.
Sorry, say that
Yeah,
again.
curiosity. Yeah, curiosity.
Absolutely. Curiosity,
Yeah.
that's the word. That you're
Yeah.
not just thinking about the short
Mm,
term, you can actually envisage yourself getting that role. Ask the recruiter as well at this stage, if I am successful at this stage in the process, how many rounds of interview should I expect moving onwards from here? Again, you're curious, you're showing that you're showing real passion for the role as well,
mm,
basically. So there's lots of
mm,
questions to ask at this stage, and 9 times out of 10, if you are that person, the recruiter will come off the call thinking, "Wow, this is a really good candidate, actually, because this person's curious, this person's asking me the right questions, and this person seems really motivated as well."
mm,
So,
mm,
and that's the recruiter interview. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in terms of let's just call this a three-stage process. So the recruiter
mm,
interview more often than not is the first stage interview. So if you've
mm,
already sort of cleared the recruiter interview, the recruiter will let you know either there and then or within a couple of days if they have lots of
mm,
candidates. Um, and then remember, the first question that was asked was, how do you fill job roles? And I briefly mentioned at that point about, we will have already negotiated an interview process. So by this time, as a recruiter, I will 100% know whether it's a 2, 3, or a 3-stage interview process. So there are different types of interviews processes. So the second stage, after you've spoken with me, might consist of an online assessment. It might consist of an online psychometric test. Don't know if people have done those. I've done those in the past. Some people love them, some people hate them. But yeah, it could be an online psychometric test, or it could be something by way of a small assignment or something, or a presentation. So that's why it's important to ask the recruiter how many stages and what types of interviews, so you can mentally start preparing yourself as well. Absolutely. But one type of interview for sure will be an interview between yourself and the hiring manager or somebody very senior on the team. And again, however many rounds of interviews you have, please make sure that you ask questions at the end. For a recruiter and for a hiring manager, there's nothing worse than if you don't ask any questions. You could even repeat
Always
some of
ask
the
questions.
questions. Absolutely. You could even repeat some of the questions that you've asked the recruiter, say, for example, and get a different perspective. So how would I do that? So Mr. Hiring Manager, I asked your recruiter about the culture of the organization, and your recruiter seemed really, really positive. But what about the culture in your specific team? So what have I done? I've asked the same question, but I've tailored it to the hiring manager and their specific team. Another thing, genuinely, you might have had 5 or 6 questions written down. And sometimes what happens throughout an interview process, and I say this to a lot of my candidates, you might genuinely have had 5 or 6 questions, and throughout the hour-long or the half-hour interview, the hiring managers actually answered all of those questions. It might have happened to you yourself. I don't know. So how do you avoid, or how do you get past that situation? Let me tell you. Now, if you've got 5 or 6 questions and the hiring manager says to you, well, do you have any questions? You can wholeheartedly say, actually, there you go. I had 6 questions written down, but you know what? You've answered all of them. Now, what does that prove? It shows and it tells the hiring manager you're not calling their bluff. You've actually gone to the effort of doing that with your pad, regardless of whether the hiring manager can see your pad or not. Okay, but chances are they will. You've actually just in a half a second proven to them that you actually did have questions written down. So that's a great tip, just to have your questions written down.
So because of our time, Abid, so you've actually said a lot, but I still have questions. I'll pass pen because you're always very detailed in your answers. Last, the second to the last, and you can answer together. So you're in the UK, and you understand the job market there, the tech job market. So what do you have to say about the tech job market? Do you envisage that it will keep going? There will always be jobs in cybersecurity and other tech disciplines. That's number one. Then the second question is, you are a career coach with digital consulting, and in 2 weeks you have coaching sessions with our students. So I want you to just give the incoming students an idea of what awaits them at the career coaching session. So tonight's one is more like just a clean session, but at the detailed career coaching sessions, what should they expect from such sessions that you will be handling? And of course, the first question is, what is the projection for the job markets in UK, in Europe, in the tech job market? So back to you, Abid.
Okay, so I'm going to be succinct, as time always is our worst enemy in these sort of situations. But
because I still have to touch on my slides too.
Absolutely. So to answer your first question, there will always be technology jobs. There are loads of technology jobs in the UK, and I think you demonstrated that very well just when I joined the call just before you were speaking with me. I think there were a couple of thousand, if I remember you saying correctly. So jobs are always there. The job market certainly is picking up. There was a bit of a dip in the job market, especially with the large corporations like the likes of Amazon, Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn. But I think we are recovering from that dip now. We're going back up the roller coaster, as I like to call it. So jobs are there, jobs will continue to be there, and fill your boots as much as you can. So the second answer is in regards to career coaching. Yes, you're absolutely right. So what we will be doing is we will be taking a much more of a deep dive into things that I've perhaps just covered the surfaces of. So for things like, for example, how to capture a recruiter's attention with your CV, how to make sure that you have an outstanding LinkedIn profile page, actually going through the nuts and bolts of how to create a LinkedIn profile page as well. And generally, we can perhaps look at a question and answer session with the students as well. So if you have anything that you need to ask outside of sort of the box, then I will do my very best to assist you in doing that as well.
And of course, have you prep? You forgot to mention that.
Say again, sorry, interview prep. Yes, of
I said you
course.
forgot to mention interview prep.
Yes, of course. So we
Yeah,
will be
yeah.
looking at interview prep as well, in terms of how to perhaps conduct yourself when you get that first call, or when you get that invitation to join a Zoom or a Teams meeting. What to look out for, things that are important but might just sound not very important to you, like, for example, what you can see in your background when you're on a Zoom call or when you're on a team call. Believe you me, it makes a world of difference.
Wow, interesting. Okay, Abid, thanks for your time. We don't always have enough time, but for the incoming students, you can always have more of Abid. So the way digital training runs is there are career coaching sessions that are different from the technical sessions. So the technical sessions cover the technical aspects of cybersecurity, but the career coaching sessions has to do with CV, revamp, LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, and how to apply for jobs. And Abid Sadiq actually handles that area. It's 2 times a month. It's a 2-hour session, and you go into the soft skill area and the career coaching side of cybersecurity. Abid, thank you for coming around tonight. So we'll see in the class. Bye for now. So I'll continue from here.
Problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. And on that note, we've just discovered England are through to the Euro 2024. So a great ending to the call.
Wow, interesting. Thank you, Abid. Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So it was a nice session with Abid, and in the few minutes I have left, I will just go over this. So cybersecurity refers, if you are still with me, can I see your hands? Can I see your hands? If you are with me, can I see your hands? Please, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I'll just run through this. Cybersecurity refers to the practice of protecting computer systems, networks, damage against damage, theft. Cybersecurity involves implementation of measures and controls to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information stored in digital formats. So cybersecurity was the what? We have confidentiality. Information is accessible only to authorized individuals. Integrity, that is information accurate? Is it reliable? Is it trustworthy? Availability, is information available when you need it? Right? Authentication, authorization, verifying the identity of users, granting access privileges, network security. So cybersecurity has a lot of fields, and we'll look into that right away. We'll look into the various fields in cybersecurity. It's a very broad field, and we'll check that. Don't worry, we'll soon be done. I just need to touch a few important things. So one thing I love about cybersecurity, while I always say why cybersecurity, is because cybersecurity is a very broad field and there are always roles. There are always opportunities because it's a broad field. It's a very broad field. So there's application security, as you can see. There is architecture, still same cybersecurity. So somebody might ask, so when we come to Agital, what do we learn here? Well, the thing is, you learn in the first 4 months, you learn the foundation. Then the last 2 months, you specialize in an area. So, and we do that because even if you are specializing in SOC, having knowledge of network security, compliance, cybersecurity investigation helps you even as a SOC analyst. So it's like I went to school, but before I got to university and I decided to specialize, I had to go to primary school and I went to secondary school and I got that background. Then I went to university and I specialized in an area. So that's how it works with us. So the first 4 months, you're the same thing. Then the last 2 months, that first 4 months gives you an idea. Then you decide, okay, this is where I want to specialize. But it also doesn't mean that if you specialize in a particular area, you can't get jobs in other areas because you have that skill set. So you could apply for a job as a malware analyst, as a incident responder. You could apply for a job in engineering. So these are the various parts. There's audit, there's cloud security, there's finance, there's education, there's engineering, there's generalist, there's governance, that's GRC, there's investigation, cybercrime analyst, cybercrime investigator, cybercrime researcher, malware analyst. There's networking, there's network security. So they are quite intertwined, right? They are quite intertwined because some skill sets you need in this area, you also need it in that area, right? There's networking, there is offensive, so don't have this idea that, oh, everything about cybersecurity is ethical hacker, penetration testing. It's a field in cybersecurity. I'm back. There's the analyst, there is the operations, there's offensive, that's ethical hacking. So, and in cybersecurity, you don't need knowledge of programming. Sort it out. You might need knowledge of programming in advanced stages of ethical hacking, the very advanced stages. But as a beginner, which that is where you start from, you don't programming. So we have to settle that because there are individuals that think I need programming, right? So don't be bothered about that. So there's operations, and that's where SOC comes in. There's privacy, data protection is a big. There is sales. It takes a cybersecurity professional to be able to sell cybersecurity solutions, right? So it takes a cybersecurity professionals to sell security solutions actively. So there is sales, there's cyber threat intelligence. So I call the threat intelligence CIA. So they don't wait for an organization to have a cyber attack. They actually are proactive and passive, right? So let me give you an illustration. If an organization of the bank industry, and last week a bank got attacked, the job of a threat hunter in Bank B that wasn't attacked is to investigate what happened to Bank A, because whatever happens to Bank A is a matter of time it will to Bank B. So threat intelligence analysts, they investigate potential threats to the organization. So all these things are intertwined, and if you have a 6 months boot camp, you can actually fit into any of these roles. So one beautiful thing about cybersecurity is that there are a lot of job roles, because like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a team to defend an organization. So that is why we have all these roles in cybersecurity, because there are different points of there are different an organization has to secure itself from all. Right now, another thing I will also show you that is very important is the projection of the cybersecurity job market. And I will show you with this slide. the projection. So here is this other slide I want to look at. So now I was asking Abid a few minutes ago the projection, the tech job market rising, but the cybersecurity job market going high. And here is why. So in 2018, cost of cyber crime was $860 billion. That was in 2018, $860 billion was the cost of cyber crime. Now, as at 2023, it was $11.5 billion. The cost of cyber crime in 2020, $11.5 trillion. And it's projected 27, it will be $23.82 trillion. So the cost of cyber crime keeps going higher. Organizations are not waiting to incur the cost. They are trying to defend against this cost. So number one is the reason why cybersecurity jobs will be on the rise is that organizations have to defend against threats. And these increasing threats, regulations, there are standards that organizations have to abide by, which leads to the need for cybersecurity professionals. And these regulations are especially in the area of GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. What we do in digital is that we teach you everything in digital, right? We teach you everything in digital. That is what we do, right? So this is one other reason why cybersecurity is a big deal, because the cost of cybercrime keeps rising, right? It keeps rising. Now, let me go back to my slide. Let me go back to my slide and see what we need to touch, right? What we need to touch. Okay, so we've spoken about this. So why cybersecurity? Why should I break into cybersecurity? Then I've spoken about what cybersecurity entails. So maybe I should also drop. So cybersecurity, there's a technical side and there's a non-technical side. So the technical side is the area where you do your SOC, your threat intelligence, you do your penetration testing, you do cloud security, application security, incident responder, malware analyst, security engineering, cybersecurity education. So those are the technical side. They are technical because you make use of tools. There are tools you make use of in these areas, right? Now, there is the non-technical side. The non-technical side has to do with GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. And there you look into regulations, ISO 27001, ISO 31000, GDPR, you look into SOX and many other regulations like that. So that's the non-technical side. So these are regulations, these are standards the organizations are expected to abide by. There is the PCI DSS, which is the payment card industry, digital security standard. So just of law, standards, procedures, audits, stipulations, requirements that you have to follow. So those are the two sides. But in digital, we teach you the two. We teach you the technical, we teach you the non-technical. And the reason we do that is because I tell people that if you get a technical job, let's say you get a job as a SOC analyst, or you are to get a job as a SOC analyst, an organization will prefer to recruit someone who has technical skills and non-net technical skills, even though the job is a purely technical job. The same way, if you're trying to get a job as a GRC professional, and the organization realizes that you also have technical skills, that will give you an extra edge over an individual that just has GRC skills. So that is why in digital, the first 4 months, you have the foundation of everything. Then the last 2 months, you decide to now specialize and major in an area while you have the foundational skill set in cybersecurity. So if that is very clear to you, can I see your hands? I just need to be sure that that illustration was very clear. Okay, so I can see that people really understood what I said there, right? So let me check out if there's anything I've not touched in the slide before I walk you through the process, how to break into cybersecurity, Okay, so I think now let's get to the next part of it. How do you break into cybersecurity? And at this point, I'll be very real with you. So for you to break into cybersecurity, the first thing you need is that you need a boot camp. You need a boot camp. Now, one interesting thing about a boot camp is the fact that it provides a structured learning environment where you are taught by experienced professionals. And I'll be sharing our faculty. Abid is one of our faculty members. The other faculty member, we have Sean, we have Ranjan, we have many of them. So you get to meet them in the class. So a boot camp is structured. So classes holds weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. It's a live classes. You are not watching pre-recorded videos. No, there's no time for all that. It's live interactive one-on-one classes with your tutor, and you are working in groups. So you are learning skills around collaboration, teamwork. Those things are very important. Abid didn't have enough time with us, but one of the critical skills recruiters look out for is a candidate being a team player. Being a team player, having collaboration skills. That is very important. Organizations work in teams, so they are not looking for a lone ranger, right? So this is what a bootcamp does for you. It gives you all these things, and it's a 6-month program where you learn the nitty-gritty of things. So you learn what you need to learn. You are learning what is relevant for you to break through, and you are learning from individuals who are in cybersecurity. They are in the field, right? So that is very important. Now, you need the technical skills. You need technical skills, right? So the training is technical. It's a technical program, right? Technical in the sense that it's practical. Little theory, more practicals, because when you get into the job environment, it is your technical skills that they are bothered about, not your research work, not your university degree, not your master's degree program. Your technical skill, what can you do? Can you do this? Can you use this tool? Can you undo this tool? That is what they are interested in. So you learn the technical skills. Number 3, you build a portfolio. A portfolio of projects. Very important. Abid was mentioning that when we were talking the other time. Your portfolio of projects is very important. As a matter of fact, it's a suitable replacement for lack of work experience. If you can show hiring managers, recruiters, what you have done, that is more or less like work experience. So that is why in the course of your training, you build a portfolio of projects. So it's engaging. So what have you done? And you keep building that portfolio of projects. Now, the interesting thing about digital training is that your program is 6 months, but the training continues after the 6 months. And when I mean training, the career coaching continues after the 6 months. Because as you are going for interviews, you are still working on projects. So Digital is not an institute where after 6 months, oh, bye. No. So it's your technical training that ends, but your career coaching continues, which is once in 2 weeks. It continues. And what happens in the career coaching? CV revamp, interview prep, prepping you for your next interview, working on your LinkedIn optimization, working on your portfolio of projects. Those ones continue. So you, with each passing month, you keep building more and more projects. So because now, after you've acquired the technical skills, you built a portfolio of projects. The next thing is now certifications. Certifications are not the first thing. They are not the first thing, they are the next thing. The next thing is now your certifications. So let me say this, there are free certifications and there are paid certifications. Now, for the free certifications, attending a training like Digital's training, these are the free certifications you will automatically get. These are free. So there is CC by ISC squared. It's a free certification and it's a very strong one right now. It is professional certificate in cybersecurity. There's Cisco Cyber Ops. Cyber Ops Professional by Cisco. We have Fortinet, network security, 1, 2, and 3. That's Fortinet. Fortinet is into network equipment. They are just like a Cisco, so they have a certification, and security 1, 2, and 3 is free. There is ISO 27001. This helps for GRC. There's also ISO 31000. Right? So these are free. There are other free ones, but these are the ones that I feel are free and they are strong ones, right? Now there's the paid one, and I always advise that for the paid ones, once you have your CompTIA Security Plus, you are good to go. CompTIA Security Plus, you are good to go. Now we are able to get discounts of 40% to 80% at times on this exam. So it varies, but most times you're able to get 40%. At times we could get higher than that if you are doing the CompTIA Security Plus. So through Digital, you can get a discount of 40% to 80%. At times we really get so lucky that we're able to get that amount of discount. So with these educations, you are good to go, right? So don't fall into the trap of you want to acquire all the certifications in the world. No, at least for you trying to break in, this is very. Now, I have met many students who reached out. They have CISSP. Now, no disrespect to people who have these certifications, but they lack the technical skills. They don't have any project. And they told me that, oh, the reason why I came to Digital is because I've passed this exam. I have CompTIA Security Plus. I have CISSP. I have CEH. I have this, but I keep failing the interviews. And I said, the reason is because you've just passed exams. You don't have the technical skills. You don't have project work. You don't have anything to show. You've just passed an exam. So exams are important, but they are not the most important things. Once you have these few certifications, you are good to go, right? So this is what you need to actually break into cybersecurity: the bootcamp, the technical skills, a portfolio of projects, and your certifications. Now, one other thing that we do in Digital is that we give you work reference through our sister company in the UK. So when you are going for jobs or interviews and you need a work reference, Digital will provide this for you. So we have a sister company in the UK that gives our students work reference to handle that. So because I know the questions are coming, so let me wrap this up. The Digital way, I've already explained this, but you have a 6 months technical training program, and classes on Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. max, UK time. Now, let me also say this: it's open to people from all over Europe and Middle East. So if you're in Dubai, I'm just giving you a reference, right? So don't say, oh, wow. It's open to everybody. So it's not just for people in the UK. I'm just using UK as a reference point, right? So then you also have career coaching once in 2 weeks. And that's with Abid. And like we said, CV revamp, LinkedIn profile. Abid actually worked in LinkedIn as a technical recruiter too, so he knows more than right. So we have interview prep, job, cybersecurity, job websites, and many other things that we might not be able to say tonight. So you have all this. Then when your technical training is over, your career coaching still continues. Continues. That's the beauty. So even though your technical training is over, your career coaching continues. Why? The idea is to keep supporting you till you get your job. Because the jobs are there. So it's to keep supporting you. You go for this interview, you come back, you check, then you have your project. Of course, the career coaching also involves building your portfolio of projects. So you are ever sharp. You are sharp. You have your projects with you and it's ongoing, right? So you don't finish a training and there's that gap. No, we don't do that in digital. You finish your 6 months training, the career coaching keeps you engaged. It keeps you engaged, and we keep sharing job opportunities with you. We keep telling you to apply for this job. At times, there are jobs we share that are not advertised. You can't find them on LinkedIn, but we get them through our network, right, of technical recruiters. We share these jobs with you. So our program is built in a way to make you succeed, right? Now, that is very important. So this is what the training is about. Now, our training fees are like, with all the value we offer, it's actually discounted to support you and to help you. It's actually very cheap and very discounted. We just charge 350 British pounds for this. And at times, when I look at how much we charge, because we want as many people as possible to take advantage of that. And if we charge the right amount of fees for what we are offering, many people will not be able to break through, right? And many times we've been advised by our team that, oh, no, this amount of money is too ridiculous. People won't take you serious. Over here in the UK, is 5,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds. Some institutes even charge as high as 8,000 pounds. But we want as many people as possible to break into tech, right? And we can cover our costs, right? So because it is 350 pounds, I always need to say this doesn't mean that what we are offering is cheap. We've just decided to discount it. And this is a promo price. Please, people, this is a promo price, right? That is very important, which means that this is between today and next week, Saturday. So training starts next week, Saturday, which is 13th July, and registration closes Friday, 12th July. Registration is ongoing. Before this session, we already have people who have registered for the class, and registration is ongoing. So try to register on time. Even though registration closes next week, Friday, but if the class gets filled up, because this is a live class, this is an interactive class, it's a live class, the classes are recorded, the replay is made available, and there are teaching assistants. So it's live class is recorded. Teaching assistants are also there to help you out. In case you get stuck at any point in time. So that is that. Let me now have your questions. I believe there are many questions here for me to answer. So if you have your questions, so somebody's asking, does the training give you computer security certificate? So I've said it. When you attend the training and you are writing the computer security, we are able to get 40% discount to 80% discount, depending. We have our ways around this thing. So if you're writing the exam, you can use our code, and at times you're able to get 40%, at times you can get 80%, right? So that is number one. Now, number two is that attending our training will not give you the certificate. And that is what I keep saying. It's a project-based, skill-based training. So don't be focused about certificate. we had a lot of things to say tonight. Abid would have told you that certificates are not the most important thing. It's soft skills, then the technical skills, then the project. Those are very important. You will get certificates, right? But that is not the important thing. So somebody else is asking the days and the times, Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays. Training is Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. GMT. 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. GMT. How do you register? Don't worry, the Stripe link will be shared on the group and you can register with the Stripe link. Oh, somebody said, what is typical salary range for a cyber GRC professional? Anything from 40,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds per annum and higher. You can always go higher than that. But I know for entry level, many of the jobs I've seen, 45,000 pounds, 40,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds for entry level, right? So those are the jobs that I've seen, and you can also check it out yourself, right? So that is important. Do you have further questions? If you have more questions, don't worry about the training course content. The training course content will be shared on the group. The GRC content will be shared. The faculty brochure will also be shared. So all the content you need about us will be shared. Don't worry about it. It will be shared on the group, right? So somebody's asking about most of the cybersecurity jobs are asking for security clearance. Yeah, so you have a point there, but there are many cybersecurity jobs that still don't ask for it, right? That don't ask for it. And I'm not saying this I'm saying this based on experience, based on what I know. I have a student of ours who started the training in March in the UK. She has no security clearance. And last month, June, by second week in June, she got a job, right? So you just have to apply and keep applying and get the skill set. That is what happens. Some do, but not all do. So we understand these things. We play in this space. So that just, and before she got that job that was like 3 weeks ago, she got the second week in June. She kept going for interviews because we know what's going on. She kept going for interviews and she got that one. When she got that job, she had another interview the following week. So that's how it works, right? That's how it works. Yeah. Right. So no. Do we need to complete the boot camp before applying for jobs? No, you don't have to. Right? You don't have to. So from your third month, you can start applying for jobs. Though we always tell students that from the start, just be applying. Or then you wonder, oh, why should I apply? Just have an understanding of what the field is like. From the first month of the training, start applying. But from the third month, you are ready to go. But from the very first month, I always advise our students, start applying for the jobs. Don't wait. Don't wait. Yeah, you go for the interview. You just have an understanding of, oh, so this is what it is. So that when you come for classes, you be very serious with the classes because now you understand what is happening out there. Right? You're talking about all classes are recorded, right? And let me say this, we don't do pre-recorded training videos. What we do is live classes. Then the live classes are recorded. So you attend a live class, you get the replay of the live class, then you have teaching assistants that will help you in case you get stuck. So that is how we do it here. So our own training is not giving you videos, then you sit down with the videos. No, that's not how it works here. So it's a live class. You're in the class with your tutor. The classes are recorded. So you can watch the recorded videos again. Then you have teaching assistant. Is it a one-off payment? Yes, it is a one-off payment. If you are doing one payment is 350 pounds. If you are doing instrumental payments, then that means you are paying 250 and 200 pounds for instrumental payment. Yeah. So the work, so Kumi is saying, is there work experience as well? Yes, there's work reference. So once you finish your program, you get a minimum of 6 months work reference. Immediately you start the program, you started work with us, with our sister company. So once you start the program, at the end of 6 months, you have 6 months work reference. So, and it's just like that. So you have a work reference with us. So it's one-time payment of £350 or instrumental payment of 250 and 200 pounds. A 4 gig RAM laptop, 6 gig RAM laptop is good to go. You have a 6 gig RAM laptop, wonderful. A 4 gig RAM can still do the job, right? There's no serious specification of laptop. Everything is done, you know, online, so you're good to go. So, Fortune was talking about the internet. Yeah, it was disturbing tonight, but that is not the case for the training because the tutors, I'm actually in Nigeria at the moment, but your tutors are working from the UK. So I need to make that point. Your tutors are in the UK. So my internet is a result of what happened because I'm in Nigeria at the moment. So, but your tutors are in the UK. Sean is there, Abid is there, Adebayo is there in the UK. So you won't have internet challenges. So that has to be very clear. Yeah. So, and sorry for the internet issues. Yeah. So if you have further questions, we still have a few minutes. We still have a few minutes here to take your questions. So if you have any question, I'm right here. I'm right here to help you out with your questions. Ask me questions. Okay, nobody's asking questions. I think we've answered it all. The group is open. And you can always send me a chat on WhatsApp. And always send me a chat on WhatsApp. Right? So just drop me a chat on WhatsApp for inquiries and registration. So WhatsApp me. Let me make this bigger. So if you have questions you can ask now, you can always WhatsApp me. Oh, someone says, is there a possibility of securing a job before the end of the program? Yes, there is. Like I said, there's a student of ours who got a job 2 weeks ago. She started the program in March. And by second week in June, she had gotten a job already. And there are other students like that too. So as long as you start applying immediately, you start the program, there is no restriction or limitation on when you can get a job. So for the live classes, Fortune is asking me for the recap. It is 6 p.m. UK time, GMT, to 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. UK time. Why I said 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. is classes finish by 8, but at times some people have questions to ask and, you know, it might extend beyond the time, trying to sort out issues, or you have this connectivity problem and all those stuff. So but by 8:30 p.m., everybody's done, right? Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. GMT. Right. So Pavan is saying, do we get support with interview rounds? Of course, Pavan, of course. That's why we have Abid in the in your program. And that's why we have other technical recruiters. You get that support when you are going for interviews, because the best person that can prepare you for the interview is a technical recruiter. Right. So, John, I have said it, but let me say this again. Classes are 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. Right? Saturdays and Sundays. 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. Right? So let me see if there are other questions. Right. So Dedu is saying, what is the registration in Naira? Well, at the current rate, you are paying 675K in Naira at the current rate as of yesterday was 1,928. So you pay 675,000 in Naira. So if you want to register in Naira, you can just WhatsApp me. I'll give you an account you can pay to. But preferably, you can register through the Stripe link. So that's it. How do I register? The registration is via Stripe. We'll drop that on the group. We'll drop out on the group. So as someone is saying, what is your class size? Well, it depends, but we always have small classes to ensure that students have maximum attention, 20, at times less than that. We break it. If we feel that the class is getting to be, we break it down into smaller parts so that the classes can be very personal and the students can have maximum attention. Zainab is saying, do we have access to the class recording after this? Of course, you have access to the class recordings forever. Let me also say this. In Agital, we actually give you permission to download the videos. You can download the videos on your system. Why? Because we want you to learn. We want you to master the thing. We've been doing this thing for 5 years, and we've helped thousands of people to get their tech job, to transition into tech. This is what we've been doing all this while. So our focus is on you learning, because a satisfied student will bring 10 more satisfied students over the course of the customer life cycle. So we don't just give you access to the class recorder after cinema. You have the access forever because you've attended the training. So the Naira equivalent is 675,000 in Naira. If you want to pay in Naira, 675,000 Naira. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Someone is saying, when is the next class? The next class will be like 6 months' time, right? It'll be like 6 months' time. Yeah. So, are there other questions? Okay, so John, you are saying you want classes at 10 p.m. Chat me up, right? Chat me up. Your case is different, right? Your case is different. So chat me up because your case. So somebody saying, do you help with CVs? Yes, we do help with CVs, of course. Have you not been in this session tonight? We do help with your CV, with CV revamp, not just CV, with your LinkedIn profile, with your profile on job websites, with your interview prep. That's what we do. And that's what we do. I just have 6 minutes to go. Yes, it's just Saturdays and Sundays live class. No. So classes are recorded. Classes are recorded. Classes are recorded. And the replay is made available. And there are teaching assistants. So if in case you miss a class, there are teaching assistants that will bring you up to speed. So the teaching assistants work 7 days a week. They work 7 days a week. So they will bring you up to speed. Yes. Yes, you get. So the thing is, Pavan, I understand what you're saying, right? I understand what you're saying. So here's the thing, Pavan. Some jobs ask for visa, no doubt about that. But there are jobs that will sponsor you. I have students of mine who have gotten jobs and the jobs sponsored them. The job did visa sponsorship for them. But I think the mistake you are making is that maybe you applied to 1 or 2 or 3 jobs and they required visa. And the next thing you're like, oh, no. No, that is why you need a bootcamp where you interact with other students, with tutors who are based in the UK, who are working in cybersecurity in the UK, technical recruiters. So you will not just be an island. You are just on your own and you think your experience is the total, is the definition of what is going on, right? If you need self-recorded stuff, we have self-recorded videos that you can access, right, for Chun. But like I said, we don't place emphasis on pre-recorded videos because I personally, from my interaction with students, many of them have attended programs where all they just had was pre-recorded videos and they didn't get any. But if you're looking for pre-recorded videos before the training starts, right, between now and next Saturday, we have pre-recorded videos that you can refer to before the program starts. So that is not a problem, right? So Pavan, I needed to clear that, right? I needed to clear that. So like people keep asking about payment plans. I've said it, one-time payment of £350 or two-time payment of £250 and £200. The reality is that this program is ridiculously cheap. And I mean ridiculously, right? Some of our people over there in the UK who work with us have told us times without number that this is too cheap. So, but we are still doing this for now, and it is promo. That is if you register between now and next week Saturday, right? No, favor. If you are registered another 6 months, definitely it can never be £350. This is the last time this program will be £350. So the program is 6 months for the technical training. But from the third month, you're actually good to go. And from the first month, right? No, all our tutors are not white, so no. So we have whites, Europeans, we have Indians, and we have Nigerians, Africans. Just check out our brochure. So you see our faculty. So we have diversity in digital. So there are white tutors, there are Indians, and there are Africans like myself in digital. Yeah. So that's it. Do you have questions? Are there questions? Are there questions? So I just have 2 minutes to go. When do we see the free certificates? From the start of your program, from the very first month of your program, you start taking the free certifications. From the first month, one-time payment of £350, two-time payment of £250 and £200. So you can choose what works for you. So thank you, people, for a wonderful time tonight. See you in the class. Like I said, this is a promo training, and that is why it's ridiculously cheap. And try to take advantage of it. We're excited about the opportunities that we are creating for people over there, and we'll keep doing our part to help Africans and non-Africans transition to a career in tech. So see you in the class. If you have further questions, just shoot me